Leeds 24, Castleford Tigers 26. How did this happen? Just didn't see it coming at all. What I want to talk about on this episode of In the Sheds is the word attitude. That's right, attitude. Do not get it. Twice now this season, Leeds have come unstuck against the Castleford Tigers. And from the neutral's perspective, watching this game last night, they seemed to think that the all they had to do was turn up and they were going to win this. Even when they were winning, they just was very, very blasé for me throughout the game. They did not respect the ball. 16 errors to 8. 16 errors to 8 in favour of Castleford because, well, I don't want to say in favour, they had the 8. 16 errors from Leeds. Unbelievable. Just not respecting the ball, not respecting the opposition. We've seen them all season come up to the likes of St. Helens and the Wiggins and be really, really competitive. And yet twice now against Castleford Tigers, they just simply haven't been good enough. And quite frankly, that's all I really want to say about the Leeds Rhinos, because I want to give credit to Castleford during this episode of In the Shed. We know they have been in terrible, terrible form. They have five losses. Yeah, 5 losses on the spin coming into this one. It was all or nothing. I mean, they played both of the Leeds games like cup finals, and that, again, attitude. Castleford Tigers fans, you've got to ask questions. All well and good getting up to for the big derby against Leeds, but you need that same intensity every single week. Now there's a nice 6-point cushion there to Wakefield, and that will have been a breath of fresh air, I'm sure, in and around those Jungle fans this weekend. But like I say, attitude. Both of these two teams, it's about that word. Castleford have got to get up for every game. Leeds have got to get up for every game. But all credit going here to the Castleford Tigers. Gareth Widdop, I've been very scathing actually at times about Gareth Widdop. I think he's been very poor thus far in a Castleford shirt, but he saved his best for Magic Weekend. 3 assists and decent kicking, 3 from 5. That last one, critical. Big game players deliver on the biggest stage at the most vital moments, and Gareth Widdop did there yesterday. Big shout out from Mellor as well. I thought Mellor in centre had a really, really good game. Two really well taken tries. I think he had something like 7 tackle busts in this game, which was just incredible. Really good performance on that right edge, and he did really well again, favouring going towards the side of Darrell Olferts and Reece Martin. Not their best day in defence, was it? Certainly in that last 15 minutes. They seemed to absolutely target that side, did Castleford, with great joy in that second half, and they did brilliantly well. It's a massive win. Let's not underestimate how big a win this is. I mean, Gary got off to a really poor start for me. He looked very nervous, didn't he, very early on, but then of course got that all-important winning score right at the death. So pleased for Gary, of course, spending a bit of time out. I think it's Bradford Bulls he's been on dual reg with. He'll be pleased to be back in a Castleford shirt and on, again, one of the biggest stages in British Rugby League Magic Weekend, delivering. And of course, those beautiful scenes at the end for Andy Last. I mean, Steph Sale in our show last week said they should have appointed Andy first, but everybody's got to be really pleased for Andy Last. That's his first win, I think, since he's became full-time coach against Leeds, and that'll just give him a little bit of breathing space. But you could see how much it meant to him right at the death there. And again, so magnanimous in defeat, in victory. The way in which he spoke about Leeds, a real touch of class. That Rowan Smith, not happy, talking about that is just an unacceptable performance from Leeds. And I agree. I think Castleford were there for the taking for Leeds, but quite frankly, their attitude, like I've said so many times already on this episode of In the Sheds, just was simply not good enough. And for me, the road is starting to run out for Leeds when you consider the teams above them, like the likes of Lee, Salford, Hull KR, Saints now. Of course, there's a lot of good teams there ahead of him who are playing far more consistently than Leeds. And by the end of this weekend, they could be 4 points off the top 6. And it's not going to get any easier for Leeds as well. So Leeds really do need to start picking up some wins. And of course, they've got a large injury list there as well now to contend with. So yeah, I tell you, I mean, Greg always says, doesn't he, that Leeds always come good in the end. Maybe not this season, and this pressure just starting to rumble a little bit there for Rowan Smith. Is there a bit of pressure on him? I don't know, Leeds fans, you tell us. But I mean, next up for them is Wakefield. I think they'll be quite relieved about that, won't they? You can't see him not beating Wakefield. You really can. But then again, you couldn't see him not winning against Castleford. And look what Castleford have done. As for Cass, they've got 2 home games now on the spin. They're going to be welcoming the Salford Red Devils and the Warrington Wolves. So they're 2 big fixtures coming up now for the Castleford Tigers, but they will be going into their next game against Salford in a lot better spirits as a consequence of this game. So congratulations to all you Castleford fans. You've had to do it tough this season, and to get 2 back-to-back wins against the old rivals Leeds. Well, that will have gone down very well. And of course, they play Leeds on the final game of the season at Headingley. Can they do the hat trick? There's a question. Who knows? But yeah, congratulations, Andy Lass. Congratulations to the Castleford Tigers. Leeds Rhinos 24, the Castleford Tigers 26. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. And we will see you after day 2 of Magic Weekend. Don't miss a minute of the action from St. James's Park.